Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Happy full moon eclipse. Happy blood moon. Happy Mercury retrograde. I'm going to get into it pretty quickly, guys, because I do know that a lot of you have been waiting a little bit for the technical difficulties to just go away. So I'm going to get pretty close into it in the next minute or so. I've got a ton of stuff to go over. So many downloads, so many messages from spirit, a ton of information about the astrology of what's going on in the energy shift that we're experiencing, and also a ton about just intuitive energy and all of the signs and all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it, okay? So, like we all know, it's a full moon. It is a blood moon, meaning that the moon glows a beautiful red color. If you've gotten a chance to check it out on timeanddate.com/live, that's a great way to watch it live. You can even rewind and see how it's developed over the day, so it's really, really cool. And you can see that beautiful glow if you're in the US or Canada or places where you can't really see it live. So definitely check that out if you're really yearning for that full moon connection and feeling and seeing that eclipse. All right, so this is going to be a huge gateway. I want to get into that first of all. The moon itself is a giant gateway, especially with the eclipse. And it's a gateway where photonic energy, active photonic energy, is getting stronger, meaning that we're having actual electromagnetic impulses and activations from the environment, from the planetary alignment, from the cosmos affecting our energetic field, which is opening a gateway for us. And what it's doing is it's showing us a lot of distortions. It's showing us self-distortions, delusions within ourselves, things that we have been covering up or trying to give explanations for that aren't actually serving us, and things that we haven't confronted within ourselves. This has a lot to do with the shadow aspect of the eclipse. So when the darkness comes over the moon and we don't have that light energy, and so it's showing what our shadow looks like. It's showing that for the sake of exposing more light within us and finding growth in those times. So even though this can be very tumultuous and very chaotic, we end up feeling really relieved and enlightened once we're able to face with courage those shadow aspects of ourselves, push through them, accept and release them, and then are able to clear them fully so that we can feel and see our own truth, which is our light, which is our soul light experience that we have in our world. So this is a really beautiful time. Even though it feels incredibly chaotic in some instances, it's really, really beautiful. From a numerological standpoint, I do my numerology pretty intuitively, but it's pretty much the same. We are 7/27/18. It goes down to a 7 number, which is a heavenly number, but there's also a lot of 9s in this date. We've got the 1/8 equaling 9. We also have the 2/7 equaling 9. So this is an actual completion into a higher state of consciousness, into a higher heavenly aspect, a higher intuitive space. And so all of the things that we're experiencing are really allowing us to find a new heightened vibration within us. So even though we are feeling those lows, we're rising above them ultimately, and we're finding new spiritual expansion and growth. Increased Akashic clearings is also happening right now, and increased karmic clearings, meaning that things from our past lives, things from our karmic contracts that we have decided to come into this experience, into this life with, bonds that we have with certain people that we know we've had in other lives, are really finding time now to clear, heal, and activate even in some cases. And so it's really important that if we feel this energetic pull to either clear the air with someone that we know is a big part of our experience, or to activate something that we know needs to be activated for the sake of us understanding a bond between people that we have in our life, that we really honor that and we see the intuitive energy that we're getting from that, and we follow it. Because when we do that, we're able to see a lot of the things that either need cleared, healed, or activated in those bonds, and we're showing the universe that we're courageous enough to confront those things, especially with this Mercury retrograde energy, especially with the activation of communication and differences in communication really with the Mercury retrograde. But it's showing us the ability to confront these things head on and really expose the truth behind them so that we can clear and heal and move on. We are also having a lot of collapsing and dissolving of old timelines and portal shifts, meaning that things that we are confronting, we are able to dissolve certain timelines. So say we have a fear of, failure. We have a fear of failure. And if we can confront that fear of failure by pushing through it and allowing ourselves to still take risks, to still push into higher ambition, we're able to clear and dissolve the timeline that it would look like if we weren't actually facing those fears, if we were just surrendering to the fear of failure. And we're really dissolving all of those timelines that don't serve us by confronting those things. So really use the courage that we have that is really, really potent here with this moon. Now this moon is in Aquarius, so it's very watery. It's got a lot of energy for, it's actually an air sign, but it also has a lot of water. So I'm sorry if I confuse you guys there, but it is an air sign, but we have a lot of watery energy with it. So we're feeling a lot of emotional energy, but it's also bringing us into higher consciousness, into stronger awarenesses within ourselves and within our experiences. Some symptoms of the shift I want to go over because I know a lot of people are feeling probably some physical symptoms, some emotional symptoms, things that might be making us feel a little bit off. Some of these things can be heart palpitations, nausea, dizziness, disorientation. We also need a lot of rest during this time, body aches, spine spasms or muscle spasms on the spine. These are all part of the light upgrades that we're experiencing from that electromagnetic photonic energy and activation. So these are really normal, and it's important for us to get the rest we need. It's important for us to honor those things. Use heating pads on your back, stretch a lot, breathe into the spaces of your body that feel tense or achy, and really allow the light energy within yourself to start healing those places and adapting to the new vibration that you're growing into, because that's really what's happening. It may feel chaotic and crazy, like we're falling apart, but we're actually organizing our entire energetic structure, which is why we feel so strange. And with that reorganization of energetic structure, we're purging so much. We're purging emotions, we're purging negative thoughts, we're purging interactions with people or energetic cords that need to be cut that haven't been cut yet, but we know have been needing to. We're purging certain experiences and the traumas of that. So all of those things coming up to the surface can feel really crazy, but if we can allow ourselves to breathe deeply into the spaces of our body that feel tense, into the heart space if we feel that emotional torment, and into the sacral chakra when we really want to create something new, and knowing that we have the inner power within our solar plexus and breathing into that, we can start really feeling the healing benefits of channeling that universal energy force that we are adapting into. A lot of the things that we want to really let go of with this full moon have a kind of basis in our own self-perceptions. So we really want to get rid of the ideas of victimhood, letting go of any feelings that make it feel like we are a victim. Even though things have gone wrong in our lives or we've felt a victim to things, once we can let go of that role, we actually move into a space of victory. Going from victim to victory is so powerful, and we just really have to let go of the idea that something that happened in our life now still defines us. As long as we can let go of that defining us, and we can move into our truth of where we're at now, how we've grown in strength and awareness from whatever we've been through, and simply move forward with that wisdom, then we're able to really let go of that victim mentality and move into a victorious state of mind. Also, the narcissistic ego, the side of ourselves that feel like we are above caring about others the way that we want to be cared for, that we're above, giving others our energy or understanding others' perceptions, and really just giving up the idea of oneness. We really want to let go of anything that is fueling a narcissistic ego, where we're not doing those things, where we're not letting go of those kind of egoic belief systems. Also, manipulations of emotion, really, really strong here. It's important to purge that as well. These are self things that we can purge and notice from our interactions in Mercury retrograde. There's going to be a lot of things where we're feeling really intense with the retrograde, where we're feeling really hurt by someone or we're feeling attacked. But it's also important that we notice the times when we might be attacking others and when our ego might be above the line of acceptance. And so we have to be able to see that within ourselves and know that every interaction we have is a mirror for us to self-reflect and see if we're actually doing those things to others and to clear those permanently. Seeing the own ego is so important, so respect and love yourself without these imbalances. So once you clear them, know that adapting to that and really finding new peace within you and not holding yourself guilty for the ways that you interact with others, but simply just coming into awareness, being responsible for it and clearing it is all you need to do. You don't have to hold blame or guilt or make that part of your self-loathing. Simply just let it go. Let's see. With the victimhood aspect, taking things too personal, that kind of goes along with that. Recognizing those times when we can just recognize things that we don't like and then release it instead of taking it into our body and really integrating that perspective from the other person. Knowing that it's just not true and moving on is the best way to do things like that. Couple other things, signs of the effects of the energy shift, and then I'll get into the signs, okay guys? So higher mind consciousness is coming online here, like I spoke about. We're shifting in between new dimensions, in between dimensions and into new body vibrations. So that's why we're feeling all of this chaotic energy, and sometimes we're feeling very spacey and disconnected. So totally normal. We're also having a lot of characteristics where we're having some kind of impatience when waiting for intuition, knowing that we need to be still in a lot of moments, but feeling really restless. Totally normal. It's important to stay still. Start meditating into the heart space and feeling into that area so that you can just find your guidance from in the heart. And if your heart doesn't tell you to move, then you stay still, even though it's uncomfortable, because we have to wait for our entire light body activation and new vibrational existence to be completely online before we start making moves that might be imbalanced and not really fully activated yet. Also, confusion is really normal during this time too. Not knowing exactly what to do on certain situations, or feeling like you're not understanding certain perspectives, or you're really just not understanding why things are going the way they are. Knowing that that too will pass. Weakened body systems where you're feeling weak and kind of tired. So get rest. Drink lots of water to help with the purging. Really, really good. Eat as clean as you can as well. Don't go eat a bunch of McDonald's and fast food. It's only going to make things more separate for you, and it's not going to get you into that oneness that you're really wanting. Also, the last thing I'll say about that is no more linear body and linear thought, meaning the strategy and the way in which we kind of usually problem solve is going to be really different. So that's why we're kind of feeling that stillness of like, I don't know what to do, because we know that the ways we usually handle things are not really working anymore, and we're about to learn a whole bunch of new things on how to handle things. So we have to just be still and wait for that knowledge to come through meditation, through understanding the synchronicities in our life and connecting with spirit in our own way. Karmic wounds are also being cleared as well. So the feeling of not coming first, of abandonment, of not being expressing but not being heard. Other wounds that we're clearing, the feeling of fear to be authentic, to be our true selves, the fear of being rejected, the fear of not being seen, and really looking for attention and validation in the wrong places, outside of ourselves rather than within ourselves. Not really seeing our own truth in the way that we've lived and our track record on how we've really come to the way we are and how we've come to our truth, and knowing that that's enough proof. Those are a lot of the wounds we're clearing. So let yourself let go of those wounds if you notice them, and ask the moon and ask spirit with this full moon eclipse to really bring you that healing that you're desiring. The ways that we can heal from those wounds are self-validation, telling ourselves when we know we're right and showing ourselves that track record, proving to ourselves that our past has shown that we know our truth, self-expression of our truth to ourselves and to others, courage of our own authenticity, so being brave enough to be your own truth and not apologetic in it. Also having integrity, being your truest self when no one's looking. or when people that you know will hold you accountable for that aren't looking. And also a lot of ego control. Structure and discipline can help with that too, to just maintain the mindfulness practice, maintain the practice of catching your thoughts when they're off, or knowing when things are really needing to be honed in and channeled into a better light. All right, I am going to get into all the signs now. I wanted to get all that rant going. I don't know how much time we've been so far, but I think we'll be okay. All right, so let me go through the signs. Right now we've got the water signs I'll start with. We've got the Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpios. So this energy for the full moon eclipse with the Mercury retrograde, we're having that full water energy. We're feeling like we're almost bursting at the seams with this watery energy of flowing into our emotions, really intense emotions, and also really deep thoughts. This can lead to heightened energies and heightened senses, so we can be feeling a little bit more than we're used to, or sensing things more than we're used to. We're also feeling the weight of other people more than we are used to, and so that can be really tumultuous. It's really important to find a meditative practice that can help you push out some of those emotions from others and only center yourself on what you're experiencing and what your emotions are, and then own those emotions as your only emotions and not connected to others at this point, so that you don't feel the weight of the world right now, that you can just focus on your own healing and really let that be your main agenda. Also, a heart-centered practice, so going into your heart for this and really channeling that heart energy that you usually give out to people into yourself, into your own self-worth. That's going to really help with that as well. And then I also wrote down a couple of affirmations for you water signs you can say in your meditation. I am centered in the heart. I am balanced in my emotions. I am accelerating. And so these can kind of help facilitate that energy. And a lot of the things that I said are going to apply to every single sign, and all the things I said before in the beginning are going to apply to every single sign as well. So make sure that you're also adapting those things. For the fire signs, my Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, we are wound healing a lot on ego-driven energy. So we're using our courage, we're using the Leo energy of the heart to really channel in our own self-reflection and be courageous and heart-centered enough to see where we need to clear some ego stuff. We're also here on dealing with many interpersonal conflicts with courage and facing change that is necessary. So Leo's, Sagittarius, and Aries, if you're feeling these emotions of really needing that solitude, needing some self-discovery, really allow yourself and honor that, because when you do, you'll see the parts in yourself that you need to use for your own confrontation. Sometimes it's harder to do that because you're usually pretty courageous already. But when we're forced to actually deliberately be courageous within ourselves, that's when it can be a little bit harder. So really focus your energy on that and open up to the wisdom from spirit on helping you see those things and knowing that you can simply clear them and let them go. Lots of great energy there. You're fiery, so you're able to really see a lot through. You're able to see through the bullshit pretty much of other people too. So this can kind of get under your skin. It can kind of start bringing out some anger, some frustration, and that is very normal. So just know that you are the type of people that are going to confront those things, and with your own heart center, being able to calm yourself inside and find inner peace, you can be the voice for reason and change for people too in those interactions through the Mercury retrograde. All right, my air signs. Geminis, Aquarius, and Libras, we're ready to move forward on a lot of things. We're excited about creating new things, but we're not quite able to move yet. So we're feeling a little stuck. We're feeling a little bit like, oh, I have so much to do, but I can't seem to find the place to step yet. And so that can be really frustrating, but it's okay. It is allowing us to have stillness and to really trust in source and the universe to align ourselves where it needs to be so that we can take the next step instead of having to wait around too much. A lot of heart-centered meditation on this as well is necessary, and using your own patience and observations of interactions and environment circumstance to help you see where it is that you need to move forward so that you're ready to do that when the action is placed into your heart. A couple of affirmations for the air signs. I am in my heart center. I am patient. I am observant. I am still. And then for the fire signs, I didn't go over the affirmations. Some affirmations for that is, I am ready for change. I am cutting the cord for certain energies. I am healing. I am letting go. And those things can be really helpful. All right, earth signs, my last set of signs for you guys. Virgos, Tauruses, Capricorns, okay? These are going to be seeing a lot of the earth shifts. You guys are really connected to the environment right now, feeling a strong connection to nature, to the way in which Gaia is transforming. You're feeling all of the energies of the certain earthquakes and things that are going on, and the way that the earth's core is kind of shifting right now. And you're feeling that within yourself. You're also embodying that energy. So your physical body is really feeling some energies here too with the shift. You're feeling more of that physical aspect. The water signs are feeling more emotional aspect, but you're feeling the physical. So you might be having those aches and pains I talked about, some of those heart palpitations and things. Give yourself a lot of time to rest and relax. Do some yoga, help center your energy and keep it balanced during this time. Super important. And know that you are becoming more connected to the love vibration, and really surrender to that. Connection with others as well for my earth signs will keep you feeling grounded while you're going through this. So it can really help you feel smooth and calm through the shifts that you're experiencing. Retrograde, just as a note, so those are all my signs, guys. Some affirmations for those. I am in the love vibration. I am grounded. I am strong in my connection to the environment and into myself. I am one with all. Those are some affirmations for the earth signs. So those are all my signs. A couple of additional notes real quick for the full moon eclipse in Aquarius. Women are also really in charge right now, so they're feeling really in charge of their own self-care. Women, the divine feminine is healing right now, and we are being forced to honor and nurture it. We're also honoring and nurturing our masculine body by acting on that feminine healing and really pushing ourselves to find solitude when we need it, to care for ourselves when we need it, to demand respect when we deserve it and when we know we need it at all times, and giving ourselves that same self-respect. So women, if you're feeling that energy and you feel like you need to confront things that you don't feel like you're getting out of certain situations, it's really important for yourselves to stand up for yourselves now. It is the perfect time for that, and it's so necessary for your activation in your light body as well. The retrograde, so we can talk about that real quick. Just started on Thursday. It'll be going on until late August. It's going to be really intense. It's going to be a big test for us on how we can stay calm in certain conversations, how we can confront certain communications, and how we can clear things that aren't really serving us. But it's important that while we're doing that, we're allowing ourselves to clear completely the karmic bonds, interactions that are overdue, conversations that we've been really needing to have that haven't been had yet, and we're feeling that courage and feeling that need to actually clear and heal in those ways and get closure. It is so ripe for that right now. Like I said, the eclipse is all about completion and moving into a higher vibration. So we need to let go of all the interactions and clear all of the conversations and confrontations we need to get rid of any energy that's weighing us down. So have bravery, have courage in doing that, and really use the energy of this eclipse to do so. A quick ritual, real quick before I go, this will be the last thing. A quick ritual for the full moon. I know a lot of you guys ask this. For this specific moon, I put together a quick ritual for you. So always light a candle, like I say. Light a candle, sage yourself so you can clear everything before you start. That would be the first part of the ritual. And then make a list of your shadow aspects that you've noticed come up for you in the past month. Anything that you've noticed you handled a little bit differently than you would like to. Any characteristics that you thought that you didn't have that you realized you did that you don't really like. Things that you've noticed you could do better at. Write a list, as many as you can think of, that have come up in the past month. Things that are from the past, traumas, emotions, negative thought patterns, belief systems, things like that we know aren't serving us. Write that list. When you're done writing that list, get another piece of paper, make a list of all of the things that are ego heavy, make a list of all the light aspects of yourself. I'm sorry. So all the things within the last month that you know are super vibrant about you. You know that you have a lot of patience. You know that you love the world. You know that you want to be connected. You know you want to serve your purpose and you want to see the light and the healing of the world. Write that list as well. And then at the end, I want you to look at both lists and see which list is longer, and see if the list of negative attributes is longer. Does that mean it's because you're really hard on yourself? Are you self-loathing in any of these list items? Are these things that are normal for people to feel, and they're not really anything based on your characteristic, but simply based on your reaction to circumstances that were totally justifiable? Or is it more of like a really ego clearing that needs to happen? Like, oh wow, I do have a lot of ego that still needs to clear. I do have a lot of shadow that still needs to clear. And also, if these lists are balanced, maybe that's the key. Maybe it's like, oh wow, I actually do know I'm balanced. I don't have to be so hard on myself. I don't have to think that I'm not, normal, or that I'm wrong for something. So look at that list, evaluate, self-reflect a little bit, and then I want you to ask for the balance that's necessary to find the alignment and vibrational stability that you need. Also ask to clear all the timelines that do not support this alignment, and clear all the karmic contracts that are fueled by your supporting thoughts and emotions around those things. So allowing yourself to notice what things are shadow, what things are light, if these are balanced, or if there's one above the other, one more potent than the other, and then ask for whatever clearing is necessary to find the balance there. Because once we find the balance, we're able to do so much, and we're able to really expand in our light, and we no longer are governed by that heavy energy. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm gonna do a quick pull for cards since we're still alive, and I'll see what we can come up with here for a nice card pull for the reading. Any ones that pop up, I'll take. Asking the lunar eclipse energy to bring forth some wisdom for us in this beautiful Aquarius moon. Here's one. And really for the retrograde as well, let's ask about that. I'd like a retrograde card as well. How are we going to navigate these energies? Oh, almost. There we go. Okay. Real quick, guys. Retreat. Finding some self-solitude, some time away from everything to really just reflect, to understand what it is that you need, and really see forth in that and find it within. Not going outside of yourself, but to simply find it within yourself. That's a big one. That was the first card that was just general for the moon. All right, for the eclipse, we are getting a surrender and release, which is exactly what we were just talking about. So we're surrendering to any aspects of our shadow so that we can release, surrendering by accepting and being responsible for those shadow aspects, and then clearing them deliberately. All right, and for the retrograde, enchantment. I love this card for retrograde because I just did a video on the IGTV about how we really want to find gratitude for the retrograde and find the magic and the ability to use it as a tool. So that's what we're doing with this card, is we're finding ways to use that retrograde energy to show us where we need balance, to show us where we need more light, and to demand that through respect and courage in those confrontations. All right, guys, I hope that answered so many questions for you. I'm so happy to connect with you today, and I am giving you all the love and light through this really intense energy shift. And I will be posting this video on my YouTube as well, so that you can look back on it if you forgot anything or if you need to rewatch for later, okay? I love you guys so much. If you guys need a personal reading or an energy clearing, I do all of that. If you need that, please write me on my DM at READINGSBYRISSA. Reach out to me. I am here for you. I have time available, and I can't wait to connect and help you through this time. We are expanding in our light. It is a beautiful thing with this moon. So take charge, enjoy it, and stay courageous, you guys. I love you.